Hi all, a warm welcome to all of you in the today's daily current affairs session on EduTap. And my dear learners, I hope that all of you are healthy and preparing well for your upcoming exams. And when we talk about exams, then current affairs plays a really very important part in the exams, and PIB is the very important source of these current affairs. That is the reason that I am back with a very important session in which we will be discussing the top PIB news from the month of November 2021. So my dear learners, before moving on to the session, if you are new to your YouTube channel, kindly subscribe it and press the bell icon to receive all the latest updates of the courses and videos offered by us. And you can also join our Telegram channel to get the access to the PDF of these lectures. To join the Telegram channel, kindly click on the link given in the description below. And my dear friends, I am glad to announce that we are running a weekend sale in which we are offering 40% plus 10% off on our various courses for the RBI Grade B, SEBI Grade A, NABARD Grade A, ESIC Deputy Director and other courses as well. So in order to avail this particular offer, you are required to use the code WEEKEND, that is WEEKEND. And my dear learners, please do not forget to use this particular code, which is only valid from 18th November to 21st November 2021. So I hope that this is very much clear. Now moving on to the topics that we will be discussing in the today's session are the Wings India 2022 and the 25th year of the Pesa Act in 1996. So now let's move on to the session. Let's get started. So my dear learners, here is the very first question before you. All of you are requested to answer the question in the comment section below. The question is, recently as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, one-day national conference has been held to celebrate the 25th year of Pesa Act. So here you are required to tell me in the comment section below that what does S stands for in Pesa Act, whether it is state, social, scheduled, society or none of the above. Please answer the question in the comment section below. And my dear learners, see, as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, a one-day national conference has been held to celebrate the 25th year of Pesa Act, and that is the reason that you are really required to cover this Pesa Act in detail. And that is the reason that today we will be discussing this Pesa Act in detail. So here you can see the headline from the PIB itself, that a one-day national conference has been held on the provisions of the Panchayats extension to the Scheduled Areas Act 1996. And why this particular one-day national conference has been held? In order to celebrate the 25th year of the Pesa Act, which was being implemented in 1996. I hope that this is very much clear to all of you. So let's first discuss the current affair related part regarding to this particular news article, that is the one day national conference. Okay, so this particular conference has been organized by the Ministry of Panchayati Raj, the Ministry of Tribal Affairs and the National Institute of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj. So all these three entities have together organized this particular one day national conference. Okay, so my dear learners, now let's move on to the Pesa Act, that is provisions of the Panchayats extension to the Scheduled Areas Act in 1996. So here you can see that this particular act got the assent of the president on the 24th of December 1996. And my dear learners, see, if we talk about the Pesa Act, here you are seeing that it is an extension to the scheduled areas. So what are these scheduled areas? See, these scheduled areas are those areas where some special privileges have been provided to protect the interests of the tribal people. And these scheduled areas are being mentioned in the 5th and 6th schedule of the constitution. If we talk about the 6th schedule, then it comprises of those scheduled areas which are in the states of AM, TM. And what does it stands for? Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. So these four states, the scheduled areas in these four states are being mentioned in the 6th schedule, and all the other scheduled areas in the India apart from these four states are being mentioned in this 5th schedule of the constitution. So I hope that this particular point is really very much clear to all of you. Now if we talk about the Pesa Act, then my dear learners, Pesa is considered as the backbone of the tribal legislation in India. See, as the Pesa Act confers the absolute powers to the Gram Sabha which are present in these scheduled areas. As my dear learners, this particular act says that the state legislature has given an advisory role to ensure the proper functioning of the panchayats and Gram Sabhas, and it also mentions that all those powers which are being delegated to these Gram Sabhas cannot be curtailed by a higher level, and there shall be independence throughout. So if we talk about the powers which are being exclusive to Gram Sabha, then my dear learners, this Pesa Act says that every village shall have its own Gram Sabha, and a village shall consist of one or more habitations or hamlets comprising a community and managing its affairs in accordance with the traditions and customs. So my dear learners, here we can say that the state governments are supposed to enact state laws for their scheduled areas in consonance with the national law, that is the provisions of the Panchayats extension to the Scheduled Areas Act 1996. If we talk about some more powers to the Gram Sabha, then it must be competent to safeguard and preserve the traditions and the customs of the people which are living in those scheduled areas. Apart from that, it also must be competent to safeguard and preserve the community resources as well as the customary mode of dispute resolutions. Apart from that, the powers endowed to Gram Sabha and Panchayat are at appropriate level are to regulate the sale and consumption of the intoxicants, managing the village markets, as well as controlling over money lending to the scheduled tribes. And the Gram Sabha also have some other mandatory executive functions which they are supposed to execute, and these functions are to approve the plans, programs and projects for the social and economic development, and to identify the persons as beneficiaries under the poverty alleviation and other programs, and also to issue a certificate of utilization of funds by the panchayat for the plans. So my dear learners, that was all from the Pesa Act, and I really hope that this Pesa Act is now very much clear to all of you that this Pesa Act has been enacted by the government in order to protect the interests of the tribal people, and it confers the powers to the Gram Sabha. Okay, so I hope that this particular thing is very much clear to all of you, and now let's move on to the question once again, and let's see that what exactly is the right answer. So the question was, what does S stands for in the Pesa Act? And my dear learners, here the right answer to this question is option C, that is scheduled. See, a detailed question can also be framed for this from this particular news article, and now I really think that after discussing this Space Act in this detailed manner, you will be able to answer this particular question related to the Pesa Act as well in very successfully. So my dear learners, now we are moving towards the next question of our today's session, which is here on your screen. So the next question is, Ministry of Civil Aviation and FICCI is jointly organizing the Wings India 2022, which is the Asia's largest event on the civil aviation, commercial, general and business aviation. So now please tell me in the comment section below that which one of the following places will host the Wings India 2022. Okay, whether it is Chennai, Ahmedabad, Kolkata, Hyderabad or Mumbai. Please answer the question in the comment section below. See, all these kinds of summits and events which are being organized are really very important from the exam point of view, and you are also required to remember the organizing entities as well as the venue and the theme of these particular events, and we will be discussing this in our today's discussion. So here you can see the headline from the PIB itself, that Civil Aviation Minister Shri Jyotiraditya Scindia inaugurates the curtain raiser event of Wings India 2022. So my dear learners, if we talk about this Wings India 2022, then it will be organized by the Ministry of Civil Aviation, Airport Authority of India and FICCI. All three will be organizing this particular Wings India 2022 in Hyderabad. Okay, and if we talk about the theme of this particular event, then this event will be organized with the theme of India @75 New Horizon for Aviation Industry. So I hope that this particular thing is very much clear to all of you. And if we talk about the key takeaways are the name of this event, that is Wings India 2022, then the venue where it will be held, then the organizing entities, and the last and not the least, the theme of this particular event, that is India at the rate 75, new horizon for aviation industry. So coming back to the question was that which one of the following places will host the Wings India 2022? And my dear learners, the right answer to this question is option D, that is Hyderabad. So I hope that this particular thing is very much clear to all of you. And now, my dear learners, we are moving towards the revision question. See, revision question series is here where we bring out the questions, the topics that we have already discussed in our previous sessions. And my dear learners, if you have missed those sessions, then you can revise this particular topic with the help of question that we are providing here. So here is the question, the revision question on your screen, and you are required to tell me the answer in the comment section below. The question is, name the initiative recently launched by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the sidelines of Climate Summit in Glasgow. See, we all know that COP26 has recently held. Okay, so if we talk about the question is, the initiative aims at achieving the sustainable development through a systematic approach to resilient, sustainable and inclusive infrastructure in the small island developing states. So here you are required to tell me the answer, that what exactly is the name of this initiative. See, we all know that these small island developing states are on the front line to get damage and losses due to the changes in the climate change. And my dear learners, that is the reason that on the sidelines of the COP26 summit, Prime Minister Narendra Modi along with the UK PM Boris Johnson has announced and launch this particular initiative. And my dear learners, if we talk about the right answer to this particular question, then the right answer is option A, that is infrastructure for resilient island states, that is IRIS. Okay, so I hope that this particular question is once again very much clear to all of you. And my dear learners, that was all from the today's session. I really hope that today's session was useful and fruitful to all of you. And if you have any queries, then you can drop us a mail at hello@edutap.co.in, and you can also call us at 8146207241. So my dear learners, thank you for joining us. Wish you all happy learning.